Hi, this is Dr. Joe with Bits and Pieces. This comes from Kristen, Junie's mama, who said that prior to losing her sweet Junie 8 weeks ago, she was a vibrant and social person, and now she finds herself pushing other people away and isolating. It didn't help that on one occasion when she did let a coworker in, the coworker went around telling others that she was, quote, better than expected. So Kristen goes on to explain that she wore a mask for an hour, yet her coworker didn't know about her inner turmoil or the hell of the other 23 hours of her day. And it was at that point when she vowed she wasn't going to let anyone in. So she asks, what is this need to self isolate after catastrophic loss? And listen, 8 weeks is so early, but clearly your coworker doesn't understand traumatic grief and the struggle of traumatic grief and what early traumatic grief looks like. Emotional anesthesia is a thing, and the trajectory of traumatic grief is that the beginning weeks and months, you probably can put on a mask for an hour a day, which is physically, emotionally, mentally, socially exhausting. But over time, that mask gets heavier and heavier and heavier. So what she did by sort of telling other people, oh, she's better than expected, first of all, it again sort of trivializes your pain, but it also unfairly sets you up in terms of others' expectations. And also it causes you to mistrust other people and what's their agenda with you and their interactions with you. The reality is, and this comes from the research, that we know social constraints have an impact. There was a study that found that social constraints, pressure from others to be okay, to be good after a loss, actually is the greatest predictor of poor psychological and physiological outcomes in grief. So no wonder grievers withdraw, because the world doesn't feel safe. And it's a heavy mask that others expect us to wear. And that mask is emotionally exhausting and physically laborious to carry. I mean, it's a constant state of pretense. So why do we withdraw? I think we withdraw. Maybe this resonates for some of you. I know when I withdrew, it was to keep myself safe from others, from their judgments, from their assumptions, whether it's she's pretty strong, look how strong she is, or oh, she's falling apart, she needs to move on. And also to keep myself safe from the lack of compassion in a world that, for the most part, avoids grief and grievers alike. Thank you for the question, Kristen. Thank you so much for sharing Junie with us. And ahimsa for all beings. This is Dr. Joe with Bits and Pieces.